Welcome to 2 Minutes of Torah. This year is entitled Kriat and the Tirgum. So it is known that in the Gemara's times they used to have the Baal Koreh would get up, would read, then someone with Tirguman would get up and translate each pasuk out loud to the tzibor. And that is still done today. Taimani communities, just like the Gemara said to do. And the question is, how do we not do it? The question is not on the Teimanim who do it. The question is on us, the rest of Klal Yisrael, who is not reading the Tirgum as the Gemara prescribed. The Gemara, as the Gemara said, there's a chiyuv that one must read the pasuk and then Tirgum. So you might give a simple answer. Well, Tirgum, we don't speak that way anymore. We don't understand it. So therefore we don't do it. Sounds simple enough, but really it's not. Everyone knows when a takana is made, Orthodox Judaism rests on this idea. A takana is a takana. A halachic striction is a halachic striction. You don't stop playing it. Well, it doesn't apply now. Maybe I can take the medicine. I'm not going to grind it. I don't even know how to grind medicine. Therefore, on Shabbat, I can take my medicine and the whole takana doesn't apply. That's not as simple. We don't do that. We don't just go ahead and push gezerah, rabbinic decrees away. So if the decree was to have a pasuk read, and then do it in Tirgum, it doesn't matter if people understand it. One would ostensibly say, we must have the Kriya of the pasuk with the Tirgum, and the Teimanim have it right. You have psukim, 150 psukim translated into 150 psukim of Tirgum, and no one will know what's going on. Okay, so that's it. So Tosafot in the Gemara Megillah mentioned that we don't do it anymore. He says because we don't understand. Yeah, but once again, if it's a takana, it's a takana. So I think what you have to say is that it's not a takana to read those words of Tirgum for each pasuk. If that's a takana, that's like takana. There's no wiggle room. It could be the halacha is that the Gemara instituted to have limud of the parsha. And limud of the parsha means Torah Shebechtav and Torah Shebal Peh, the written law and the oral law. Now, the oral law is when you understand it. And therefore, if you the Tirgum, he's reading it and no one knows what's going on, it's not an act of learning. No one knows. So when you say you have a takana, a gezerah, not to climb a tree on Shabbat, not to take medicine on Shabbat, it's a gezerah, that's it. Over here, the takana is to learn the Torah publicly, learn the oral Torah. Well, learn the oral Torah, reading words out loud is not an act of learning. If there's no Havana understanding, it's not an act of learning, not an individual, not on the public level. And the mitzvah was to have a public learning of the pasuk. So therefore, there's not a takana to read those 15 words. The takana is to have learning. And once you don't understand it, it's not an act of learning. And therefore, it just naturally dissipated. It fell away. We stopped doing it. Because it wasn't a fixed takana on the words. It was on a limud. And unfortunately, we just don't have that understanding anymore. So therefore, we just now remain with the original takana of just simply having Kriat Hatorah without the Tirgum. Shalom.